Hello and welcome to Sandman Gaming. Today I'm going to be playing Star Citizen and I will be chatting or talking to you all about what this game is and why I like it and why I think you should get in and play it. So, what is Star Citizen? Star Citizen is a space sim being done by Cloud Imperium Gaming. And it's a very ambitious game that's in early access, more or less. The game's currently in alpha. You can get in, play it via paying for a game package. So it is a paid alpha, where you pay them. But the money you pay goes to the company and goes to the development of the game, paying developers, paying for new facilities and things like that, which is actually speeding up the development process now that some of the original legal troubles that they had have been settled. Which, if you want to know more about that, there's tons of videos out there to talk about what CIG's issues were, legally speaking, and I have no interest in covering it. But why do I think you should play this game? Well, I've just woken up in a hab right here. It's one of the spawn points in the game when you first log in anytime, and the level of detail they've just put into the whole game is phenomenal. Eventually, everything like these closets will be usable. They're currently not functional. These tables will be usable, chairs will be usable. There's actually one planet where you can land right now that I'm aware of where you have a working coffee pot, and a lot more of the functionality in those habs is usable. You can sit in the chairs, you can pull displays down, but they don't show anything right now because they're not fully implemented. Because this is a game in alpha, not every mechanic is fully implemented, not everything is finished and polished to the extent of a finished game. But they put thought and detail and into every inch of this game. Like, just looking at the walls, the texture, there's fading from places, particularly around the edges, weathering, where you would expect to see it from people bumping into the walls, things like this. And this is not, the space station I am on is not considered like a high-end place to stay. So this is like a Motel 6 in space. And I definitely get that feel being here. These chairs, some of these chairs around work. These fire extinguishers will actually be functional in the foreseeable future, actually. They're supposed to be functional before the end of the year. So firefighting mechanics will be in the game. So what can you do in this game? That is the question. Right now, there's a handful of things you can do. And I will pull up the contract manager here for you to see. You can, let's start over here. First thing you can do is you can actually create player beacons. You can do escort, personal transport. You do this, any rep, or you can just determine how much reputation they get and offer a payment to them for that. Personal transport, you can pick any destination in the system to get there. And again, you can pick the reputation level and go from there. And those are beacons. So you can pick up player beacons. They are not a big thing right now, but they are a thing. In the contract manager, you have delivery missions. Basically space UPS. You go pick up packages and you drop them off somewhere else. In the next iteration, the current iteration is Alpha 3.12.1. And the next iteration will be 3.13, which is supposed to be out later this month. It just hit the Eva Cardi, which is their closed alpha test of all the mechanics. And for legal reasons, those who participate in it can't share anything about it unless CIG has already leaked the footage or something. I'm not entirely sure what those contracts entail. There's just an NDA attached to it. So a lot of the guys can't tell you what's going on in the Eva Cardi phase, which is fine. but they help playtest it. So when it comes to the live universe where I can play, because I am not an Evicardi member, which is fine, I can. Most of the bugs have already been worked out, and now it's our job in the live universe, being an alpha, to basically play the snot out of it and find out where it's going to break in an actual like heavy server load situation. Over multiple servers, people doing different things, doing crazy things, all kinds of stuff. So with the new iteration, though, with the delivery missions, you're going to get timed missions, you're going to get sensitive cargo missions, you are going to get long haul missions back. And so that's an exciting thing that some people are looking forward to, because some of these people have larger ships that they got specifically to do long haul missions, but they haven't really been able to utilize them because they haven't been in. Then you got investigation. These are basically fly to a location, you investigate whatever they assign you to. You basically just follow the beacons, go around and explore a wreckage or a cave or something, and you go from there. You report back what you found. Done deal. You make some credits. All these tell you exactly what they pay up here, what its availability is, which is usually, if it's timed, it'll tell you how long you have to go and who the person assigning it to you is. Then you got maintenance, which is basically another delivery style mission at the moment, where you go, you pick up some cargo from a place, you load it into your ship, and you take it someplace else and offload it. Bounty hunting. Probably one of the more complete gameplay loops that they have in the game, or at least balanced ones, where you can bounty hunt other players. Like, right here is one, which is a little different than these. Wait, that's not one. Let's see if I can find one. Group warrant issued. I don't have any showing up right now, but all these wanted ones where it has like very high risk, or VHRT, which is very high risk target, moderate risk targets, very low risk targets, etc. They're all they're all NPCs. I'm basically going out and hunting down NPCs to do it. And then you got the mercenary missions, which are a lot of ground stuff, along with some dogfighting and stuff like that. So this is your FPS, some dogfighting missions. Most bounty hunter missions are dogfighting. I'm fairly certain that it's actually dogfighting exclusive, because even if you shoot someone on the ground who has a crime stat, I don't think they go to prison when you do that, like they do if you take them out while they're in their ship. On that note, there will be the option to surrender here soon, within the next year, right on the roadmap. So if you do get a crime stat and your bounty hunter comes up on you, you can just surrender instead of being killed and having your ship blown up. So that is a nice thing that you should be able to do here in the near future. Back to the mercenary stuff, though. You can do dogfighting missions, which are mostly these, like the removing claim jumpers and all of that. And then these remove illegal occupants and execution warrants are first-person shooter missions. You go into a location. Usually they tend to line up at the same spot. Let's see here. Issued for... But you go to a location, you basically kill everyone there, get them out of there, and they pay you credits, which you can then use to purchase more weapons, stuff like that. Then you can come over to the personal stuff, which are appointments. This will be where like you get a lot of your illegal type missions, where like space piracy type stuff, where they're like, oh, go hit this caterpillar and steal its cargo and things like that. But this is where you'll find like your less than savory stuff. Like this one right here is like, go to a shipwreck and find, I'm pretty certain this is find their drugs and bring it back. It pays well, but kind of dangerous. They're first person, a lot of these are first person shooter type missions as well. This one in particular, I know from experiences, and I can tell you from experience, it ain't easy to do by yourself, because I get ambushed Constantly. I'll think I have everyone wiped out, and then I'll turn a corner and some NPC that was somehow stuck behind a barrel or something pops out like an unholy jack-in-the-box and takes me out. It's hilarious. But that being said, game's in alpha. So there are going to be glitches, there are going to be bugs, there are going to be things that happen, and you just got to roll with it. Sometimes the servers just crash because it is an alpha, and the code is not balanced, the game is not optimized. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see the ticker up in my corner, but I'm only getting 30 frames per second right now, and there is no one here. I get to a busy area, and that'll tank all the way down to like 3-4 frames per second sometimes, depending on where I'm at. Lorville is the worst for that. But that's just what happens. Like, I lost 10 frames just because I walked in and there's another player here. How do I know he's a player? Because he's looking at his Moby glass. Look at that. But anyway, and that is a thing. You can see people looking at their Moby glasses, things like that. You can see what menus they have open, although I guess that's a thing that they are talking about working on. NPCs will chat with you from time to time. They don't really have much to say right now. At some point, all of this will be purchasable in-game because being clean will have an effect on your reputation. The reputation system is being implemented. Actually, it's in right now, but the UI to let you monitor your reputation with various factions will be in the next patch. So hopefully restrooms will be functional here soon. You can use showers. You can do all kinds of things. This is an NPC here. Let's see. I cannot make coffee at this one because it does not love me. I'll tell you what, I was stoked when I found out I could make angry bean juice in space. Made my day. But moving on. Lots of NPCs. There's a lot of detail put into the NPCs. In theory, you're supposed to be able to see what their job is in the universe just by looking at them and their attire. In practice, right now, I feel like most of these NPCs are probably placeholders for other things. But other reasons why you should play. There's definitely something to be said for the player versus player combat in this. There's a lot of that goes down. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of player generated content right now. The loops that will be coming in the future is there will be opportunities to participate in space races. There will be opportunities to run with pirate gangs, NPC pirate gangs, and create your own pirate gang and criminal organization. You can create corporations, criminal underground organizations, mercenary organizations. There's various ways you can structure essentially your guild, more or less, for those familiar with more with that terminology, to where you have a goal and it's very clearly stated in how you're set up and you're structured. Exploration is a gameplay loop that's supposed to be coming soon. Salvaging is supposed to be coming out in the next couple patches. So you can go salvage shipwrecks for their raw materials, which hopefully means that when salvaging is in and done well, we'll see manufacturing. They are setting it up to where you can claim territory to build a base, which will mostly be like prefab buildings, but I don't have a problem dropping prefabs everywhere and claiming land and territory and doing that. Doesn't bother me one bit. I'm sure there'll be a certain amount of modularity to it, but like, I'm looking forward to that. I would love to build myself a base. I personally lean more toward the combat aspect of this game, doing escort missions and protecting other people as they run cargo. Let me see, where else can I take you? Let's take you to the Galleria right now. So the elevators in this game work. There are trams in this game that work, and they're awesome. Sometimes they don't work so well, but oh wait, I'm not taking you to the Galleria. I went to the cargo center. Silly me. But anyway, I'll show you the cargo center then. But you can be a long-haul trucker in this game too if you want. There are ships that you can get in the game, or that will be coming out in the game, that are designed to transport tons of cargo. So it makes running like some of these removing waste missions and stuff like that, where you really have to transport a lot of it to make it worthwhile. So, but like I said, the level of detail and thought put into everything around here is just phenomenal. All of these look like, most of them anyway, I recognize as ship manufacturers. Drake Interplanetary is a ship manufacturer. Aegis Dynamics, ship manufacturer. MISC is a ship manufacturer. And so, but they put advertisements on the sides of shipping crates. I don't recognize Dragon Stellar or Coverlex or these others, but I'm not super deep into the lore of all the companies in the game, which is fine. They're probably weapon manufacturers or something else in the game. But they put thought into advertisements and stuff like that they throw up. And a lot of these screens that you'll see from all over the place, like this, will have changing displays and stuff like that, so you can see what's going on. Oh wow, they got the cargo dispatch up there. I didn't realize that that's actually changed. I walked by it so many times. And that's one of the things, like, you'll run through some area and then you'll discover something that you never noticed was there before, but it's been there that whole time because you just never really paid attention. And this being a good example, like, I have never... Oh, wait a minute. It lets me go up and do a thing on it? Oh, interesting. I thought it was going to let me do a thing to it. It will not. It's like, joke's on you. You think you can mess with me, but you cannot. Here I apparently can buy some clothing, some mining gear, but other stations are better set up for mining. They have a refinery deck. This one happens to have a cargo deck. So different stations will be better suited to visit depending on what gameplay loop you're doing. Mining is probably the most developed gameplay loop at the moment. You can go break rocks, mine them, harvest the resources out of them, go to a refinery deck, and refine those materials, sell them for twice as much as what the raw materials be worth. On average, it's twice as much anyway. And then you go and you take the refined materials to a landing zone and you sell it. Right now, because it's really the only developed gameplay loop and the economy is kind of busted, it's a struggle to offload that stuff. So I don't do the mining gameplay loop purely because I find it a huge struggle. Right now they have a simple nutrition system, and as you can see right now, I am just storing this in my personal inventory because I like to be prepared, and it's cheap. So let's see, I need to, before I pick up one more of those, because I need to drink. I need to unequip my helmet because you cannot drink through a helmet in this game, which I'm okay with. They're aiming for realism. So, like I said, mining's probably the most developed gameplay loop, with, I'd say, bounty hunting being the second most developed, in my opinion. Bounty hunting is one of the most lucrative gameplay loops, and I think I unequipped all my armor. But hey, worse things have happened to me. Eat the weird power bar. But I unequipped everything. That's the bummer. That's fine. Oh no, my power bar is gone. Anyway, so I stockpile food. I'm doing my impression of a squirrel. So I broke the game. Oop, I don't want that. More info. Will you let me buy more than one at once? Oh, you're just like, here, pick it up. Put it in my inventory. Alright. Other gameplay loops that they currently have in. You can be a space trucker right now, in-game. It is not... Because the economy is not great right now, the way that the system is set up, they're working on it, but it's just not all there yet. It takes a while to offload some of the more lucrative cargo goods, and you can run all kinds of cargo. You can run everything from like legal stuff to you can go to the Space Meth Lab and buy space drugs and sell and trade those in certain locations. So like I said, like the level of detail they put into this is amazing. Now, how do you get in and play this game? It's very simple. You go to robertspaceindustries.com. I will put a link down in the description. Click that link, sign up for an account. By using that link, you will get 5,000 Alpha UEC, and depending on the time of year, you might get an extra in-ship item or game, depending on the time of year. They do recruitment drives where they give players, I think the last one was a Dragonfly, which actually, speak of the devil, here's one right here as a display piece. But they gave these to everyone that was recruited and everyone who recruited someone in the month of January. So they do promotions like that from time to time. So you get a little two-seater hover bike. These things are neat. They do have weapons on them. I like them. I don't have one. Makes me sad, but I don't have one because they're cheap enough to buy with credits in game, so I have not bought them with real world cash right now because I got other plans for my real world cash. But you sign up for an account and then you buy a game package. Your two basic game packages will run you about $40 on average, depending on the time of year. Sometimes they can be as cheap as $35. They might be $45 right now. And these two base packages are the RSI Aurora and the Outlands Consolidated Mustang Alpha. Now, the Mustang Alpha is a dogfighter. It is a light fighter. So if you want to do the more combat-oriented space stuff, it's a premium choice for you. Like, get one if you want to go out and hunt down bounties and take out like the bad guys and stuff like that. You can do a lot with a Mustang combat wise, surprisingly, for it just being like the entry level fighter. That being said, there are better fighters in the game. But you need your base game package to get into the game. And they'll have several on the website, but the two base ones, the two entry-level ones are these two. The Aurora is they classify it as a light fighter and I believe light cargo. So it does have some cargo space, unlike the Mustang. It is not... The Aurora is like the Toyota Camry of space. Like, that's the best way I can phrase it. They promote it with various videos, which I love that CIG makes these videos that look like you got someone actually like talking and like trying to sell you the ship. And they talk about how the RSIs are like the RSI Aurora. Everyone had one in their garage growing up, and that was the spaceship everyone learned how to fly and stuff. Ooh, arcade. So the arcades will be functional in the future. So you can sit here and play arcades. You can go play pool in the bars. now that I think about it. Here you can buy ship components, and you can swap out components on your ship. There will be more modularity and components later. And over here you can buy clothes, you can buy weapons, you can buy armor. But so if you want to run cargo, you want more of an all-arounder ship that can do a little bit of everything, the RSI Aurora is a good pick. I personally ended up upgrading both of my starter ships. I got one of each because they were on sale, and I decided why the heck not, because it seemed like fun at the time. They both came with 60 months of insurance, because insurance will be a thing here in the future where you have to buy insurance policies for your ships. When they get blown up, you pay a deductible to get those back. And right now, just to get your ship back, because it is an alpha, you don't have to pay a deductible. It's only when you want to expedite the recovery of your ship that you have to pay out of pocket. But I imagine it will work just like regular insurance in the future, hence needing to pay a deductible. You can buy burritos in game, but right now, more or less in my experience, all food is created equal. This is not to be the case later. Different foods will give you better nutrition. But they're putting a lot of thought and detail into it. You're going to be able to build yourself a space ranch if you want to. You can stay on one planet the whole time, and that's your thing, is you just run your space ranch with your space cows and your livestock and your goats. And you have people bringing you supplies and take supplies away and stuff. So sign up, get yourself a package, and get into the verse. Like I said, you click my link, 5,000 Alpha UEC, which goes a long way. Most of what my character is wearing right now, with a few subscriber exclusive items, which my subscriber exclusive items are actually the glasses that you cannot see right now for some reason. But they are glasses. But everything my character is wearing right now can be purchased for about 5,000 Alpha UEC. You can buy new weapons and equipment for your ship with 5,000 Alpha UEC. Not a lot. It doesn't go very far there, but it's enough to get you started and get you on your feet and get your bearings. And it's a nice little starting nest egg. So what I would love to do is I would love to get more people into this game, get you guys out here and get you playing, because this game's amazing. And it's getting better with every iteration. It is still probably about 4 years away from release, if not more, just because of how ambitious it is. We still only have one planetary system right now, consisting of 4 planets and its star. And then there are moons. But right now they are working on the next 2 systems. They opened a new office in Canada that specifically is supposed to help build these new star systems. The next 2 systems will be Pyro and Nyx. Pyro is supposed to be a very harsh system, like an outlaw system. The law of the United Earth Empire doesn't really quite reach there, and it's strong. It's very, very lawless there, very much Wild West feel to it. Whereas Nyx, from my understanding, and I'm digging through my brain for lore here on it, is Nyx is more of a bed of dissent from when the Mesha regime, which I'll do some lore videos for the game, but the Mesha regime was a group of political imperial family that was doing terrible, terrible things. They were just being a bunch of abusive jerks. And the Nyx system was like a hotbed of dissent, and it's still a place where people go to be free. So again, it's another place where kind of like Wild West rules, from my understanding, but can't really say. Like I said, I upgraded my game packages. I have a Warden, I have a Sabre, Actually, the Sabre is not one of my upgraded packages. The Warden is, and the Cutlass Black is an upgraded, and I still have a Dragonfly for some reason. I don't know why. I don't think I recruited anyone in that window. Maybe it'll go away when they update. But these are the ships that I have available to me. These are the ships that I do things with. The Mercury Star Runner and the Vandal Scythe are because I am a subscriber. So you can subscribe, give them either when you have the money, sign up and be a subscriber for a month and just a month, or you can sign up for a renewing subscription, buy a year of it at once, whatever. I buy a couple months at a time. And when I can't afford it, I just don't do it. But because I'm a subscriber, they give me access to a ship that they decide, and they have given subscribers access to the Vandal Scythe, which the Vandal are an alien race. They're basically just a bunch of they're a bunch of bad dudes. They're kind of like Space Locust in a sense. Their ships look cool. They're kind of broke at the moment because when their landing gear never stow, so their wings are always folded up. But they're neat ships to look at. Mercury Star Runner's cool. Periodically throughout the year, they do free fly events where if you want to get in and you haven't bought a package, you want to get in and play in the verse and see what's going on, you can jump in, use the code that they provide you, get into the free fly event, and just play for a week. It's usually about a week or 2 weeks that they allow this to happen. And I highly recommend when there are free fly events, I will make a video right before. As soon as they make the announcement, I will make a video. Free fly events are a perfect opportunity to jump in, try this game, and see if it's something you like and you want to support. Because that's the big thing. I will say this right now. You're not paying for a finished game. The money you spend is going to support the development of the game. You will have access to the finished game. Any ship that you buy, and some of these ships can get expensive, like, and to a certain extent, the way that the ships are set up, it is kind of pay to win. But the current way the game is set up, what it favors is these smaller fighters, which are actually the less expensive ships, are the way to go. These large multi-crew ships, just they don't have it yet. But these free fly events, get in them, try out the ships that they offer you. They'll offer you a whole mess of them. I think last time it was like 4 or 5 ships that they gave everyone to try and explore, and which was awesome. I got to try ships, and basically because they did the free fly event, I got to figure out that the mining gameplay loop was not for me. I apologize also for the rapid head movement. I am using Track IR, which is every time I move my head, the whole thing moves with me. It's kind of neat, but because I can do stuff like this, I can look out windows, which in a dogfighting situation is kind of nice. All right. We're going to launch. I am also using a stick and throttle setup loaned to me by a friend, so which allows me to do some neato things. There we go. Gear. But it's definitely kind of like where it's at. So let me go to third person and you can watch me fly a little bit. But this is my Aegis Sabre. It is a stealth fighter. It is a gorgeous ship. I spent a lot of money on this ship because I always wanted one. And that's kind of how I determine that I want ships, is I look at them and I go, what looks cool to me? And this was the ship that I've really wanted. This and the Vanguard Warden. I love my Cuddy. My Cuddy is my baby. I love flying around in it and doing stuff. But these two have become my go-to combat ships. They rip things out of the sky. Like, I got quad rapid fire lasers on this, and that's just stock. It tears NPCs down, and I love it. So I'm just going to do a circle of the space station here and show you the level of detail that they do. Let's get back in the ship. And I'll just look out the window here. So yeah, just look at the detail they put into the space station. It's phenomenal. You can actually physically land on these extra portions of the station if you're careful and you don't just plow into them. Now, they make you call air traffic control to land on these landing pads and to be assigned a landing space. And it's just one of the things I love about the game as far as realism. It is a space sim. So I hope to see you all get in here and play it. I will definitely create more Star Citizen content, and I look forward to seeing you in the verse. This is Sandman signing out.